Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Andrew, aka the Black Dragon. This is Black Dragon Studios, and I'm back with another episode of Doomsday Last Survivors. In today's video, I was going to do a video on the new event, the Alice Easter event, whatever it's called, Alice in Wonderland, but I wasn't very impressed by it. I took a quick look through it. You guys can take a quick look through it too. Really, the only thing that I noticed about this whole event was this thing right here. They got a pretty nice shelter skin. I got to admit, the shelter skin for a budget shelter skin, I think this is going to cost you $13.99 Canadian or $9.99 American to get, is definitely worth it. The prizes here are definitely worth it. And then to jump up to the $27.99 bracket, or I guess it would be $19.99 US, something along those lines. I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to your discretion at that point. It probably is worth it, but the $13.99 to get the new shelter skin, definitely worth it. However, everything else in the event is just vanilla. It's just meh, and I don't really feel that it's worth covering. So yeah, you guys can go have a look at that. And just one more piece of news before we get into it. I'm going to share 3 things with you guys today. The first thing I'm going to share with you guys is this here. Just be sure to check the news every day. We've got Dreamy Puzzles event going on right now. That's about to end. Nothing to mention there. We've got the Alice Mad Hairs times TikTok milestone challenge. Go ahead and just collect rewards there. There's a bunch of milestones that we need to hit. Go follow their TikTok. You don't even need to follow the TikTok, but basically once they reach a certain amount of followers, we're going to get rewards as a community for all that. So it definitely helps if you do go follow. I personally didn't follow, but I don't really use TikTok all that much. So, and then there's this Let's Create a Green Earth event here, whatever this is. You can go click on this every day and click here and collect 100 points every single day for 7 days and get some pretty good rewards on this wheel here. I think there was one more event, and it's this one here, yes. Cherishing every moment with you, it'll say right on the left side of the screen there, and you can click here, and it'll bring up this screen here, so you'll be able to claim this daily. Once per day, you can claim these rewards. Visit the webpage, claim these rewards. Defeat 5 zombies, claim these rewards. You can essentially get 3 search maps every single day, and 6 hours of training speed ups every single day. And some XP books and some resources. So complete 5 radar station events, defeat 1 hive mind, and this event will be going on for quite some time. As a community, we can get all these rewards here, although they don't say what the rewards are. Yes, they do. Okay, these are some actually pretty decent rewards for pretty much for free for doing nothing really. And then just these rewards up top here for your personal scores. Pretty good rewards, if I do say so myself. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys about the news. But the whole topic of today's video, which I probably should have mentioned earlier, is probably in the title, so maybe I didn't need to mention it all that much, is going to be about beasts, biochemical beasts, and more so the chips. The chips that you can put on your beasts. And just kind of how I have my beast set up, how I have my beast set up to be fully optimized, to give myself the most damage in each situation possible. I have some screenshots saved for you guys. I have some chip setups that I think are going to be pretty good on particular beasts available for you guys today. And yeah, so it's going to be just one of those kinds of videos where a little bit more of an educational video, maybe not so pertinent for the people that have been playing the game for a really long time or people that already know their stuff, but definitely worth a watch if you're newer to the game or just looking to get some information or just maybe just a different perspective on how the beasts can be operated. So the first thing that I want to mention to you about Biochemical Beasts, for those that don't know anything at all about Biochemical Beasts, is they're like Pokemon. Each different beast type has a different strength and a different weakness, just like a troop type. Just like ranged is weak to riders and infantry is weak to ranged, and riders are weak to infantry. Well, same thing with beasts. However, what I found about beasts is the only difference between the types of troops and beasts is there is a type of beast that actually does not have any immediate strength or weakness. and that is the colorless or the yellow beasts. These ones right here. So naturally, my first thought was when I started building out beasts was that these beasts would be pretty good to build out because not only do they look cool, as you can see here, the undead bull with the, I guess, kind of a bison-y sort of deer elk-like look with a bunch of yellow fantasy-like birds on his, like kind of like vultures, I guess, flying around him. And then he's got the spine kind of coming out of his back, but the coloring on this beast, I must say, is pretty cool. And if you see this beast out on the field, I'm a little biased just because this is the beast that I'm building out, but I think this beast looks pretty damn cool out on the field compared to all the other ones. So today we're going to be talking about beast setups, which beast setups that are good in my opinion, which setups to avoid, which chip setups are good and which chip setups to avoid. So chips, for those that don't know, are just these things here. You can click chip on each beast. Each beast, it's almost like armaments. For each beast, you can put on a chip and it makes them more powerful. And they have different gradings. The blue ones obviously are the weakest. The yellow ones, or the elite, or sorry, the purple ones, the elite ones, are the second strongest. And the gold ones are obviously going to be the strongest. And then there's superior gold ones as well. Just like we have superior armaments for each specific type of beast. And the funny thing is, once we get into this, there's a lot more to it than I initially thought. So I'm going to be spending a little bit of time talking to you guys about this today. But first I want to show you guys kind of how I have my beast set up, okay? So the reason that I did do that kind of a beast is because I'm setting my account up to be a rider rally account. So I want to be rallying my riders. I have a rider hero with a super weapon that is specifically built for rallying, okay? That's just the direction that I wanted to take my account. So naturally, I'm going to be building out a beast that is privy to doing rallies. And what better than a beast like the Undead Bull, whose specialty is rally, crit, and combo. So you're not going to find rally on any other beast except the Undead Bull and the Corpse Bull, if I'm not mistaken. You can go over here to the index and look through the different beasts. As you can see right here, for the physical beasts, or we'll call them in this case the orange beast, the yellow beasts. Whenever you hear me say those words, that's what I'm referring to. So the yellow beasts, these are the rally beasts, okay? We only have 2 of them. And then the other 2 here are for garrisons. However, they can be used as support beasts as well. So you have just like you have your leader and your support hero. When you're doing marches, you have your leader beast and your support beasts. So it's almost like setting up a second leader and a second support hero in your marches. So this is going to be very important going forward to know what you're doing and to set your beasts up properly, or else you're going to get destroyed out there in the field by other people that are doing this right. So if you're doing garrisons, I would highly recommend to build out the Hammer Pangolin first and foremost, and I'm going to show you why I would recommend building out the legendary version of this over the epic version, much like I would recommend you using legendary armaments over epic armaments. It's the exact same thing, or legendary heroes over epic heroes, okay? There's one thing about, I should say, elite heroes, the purple heroes, okay? Because what I found, and when I'm looking at the power and this, like the sheer stats, just the raw stats of these beasts, right from the blue beasts or the green beasts, I should say, the most common beasts, I had like a +9. I think I had like a +9 blue. It was like a blue boar. This guy right here. Okay, so the Badlands boar, level 17, but he's already +8. So that means I've progressed his rank 8 different times. Okay, so I needed to pull 8 different ones of these guys and put them all in the same one, and now he's a +8. That's the most simple way I can say it. And his strength without any chips, because I don't even really have any chips in him, is 216,000, okay? So that's, I'm not going to like say that's good or bad. I'll tell you it's pretty bad, but I'll show you why it's bad. So if we go right up here to this guy, okay, this is the elite form Or I should say, no, actually, we'll go right here. We'll just go right here, actually. We don't need to look any further than the Blaze Sabertooth. I think pretty much everyone got the Blaze Sabertooth right at the beginning. I see a lot of people using the Blaze Sabertooth as their main field beast right now. So it's a fire type, first of all. So let's keep that in mind. So this is also a fire type, the Badlands Boar. It's +8 and only 216,000 power. And then I've got the legendary Blaze Sabertooth only at +1, and it's already 247,000 power with no chips. There's literally no chips on this guy. There's no chips on this guy. So this guy is 7 tiers lower than this guy, but already has more power at +1. So that's the difference in ranks of color between like blue to purple to yellow. Okay, so you really need to take that into consideration. I'll show you another example. Okay, and I put different things into this guy too. Like I put potential into him a little bit. I put what else? You can get power from like doing these right here, using these things. I don't know what these green things are called. Potential extract, and just raising their potential up. So the more levels up you raise their potential, the stronger they get. And then you can also put these purple things on them as well, called Pristine Life, which go in these slots right here to give them extra added bonus stats. So literally everything that you're putting into these beasts is just building up their stats. Okay, so just to keep that in mind there of how far I've gotten him up with the potentials. Not very far. I've gotten him up to 80, and I've done the first set of potentials here. Okay, but he is +8. Let's keep that in mind. He is a +8, and I think he has maybe 4 chips. Okay, so he has 4 chips. Let's unequip all those chips. 517,000 power without the chips. And then I've got this guy here, which is only a +1 at level 57. So he's 17 levels higher than the elite version, but he's the legendary version of the same character. Okay, let's take all the chips off of him. And I'll show you guys these 488,000 power as compared to 517,000 power. However, this guy, this elite version, is +7 higher than the legendary version. So that just goes to show you how much better it is to invest into the legendary ones, because by the time that I get my legendary guy to +8, this guy is going to be obsolete. This guy is not even going to be viable anymore. Okay, and yes, I have put a lot of potential into this guy already. I got this at max level. I got this at max level. I've got his potential already to level 165. So basically, you just want to get as many of the green things into him as you possibly can, and then start pumping those purples into them. And those purple ones are very hard to get your hands on. So I'd recommend being very cautious before you just go ahead and spread them around to all of your anything but legendary beasts. I feel like they should only be used on legendary beasts. Same thing with your chipsets. Okay, as you can tell here, the best chips are obviously going to be your legendary chips. And then you can rank the chips up as well. Just like you can rank up armaments, you can rank up chips. And with these legendary chips, you can rank them up to tier 5. You can rank them up 5 separate times. Whereas with the elite chips and the blue chips, the uncommon chips, you can only rank them up 3 times. So let me put it to you this way, okay? Let's take a look at this chip here. This charged chip for the left arm, it actually does have a 4-piece set. It has a 2-piece set as well. So if you get, it has a 4-piece set. So look at this here. If you get, and the right, so the left leg, the right leg, the left arm, and the right arm, it'll give you crit +50. Okay, that's not too bad. If you have the 4-piece array, that's for the 2-piece array. So you could have any 2 of those pieces, and it'll give you crit +50. Now, if you have any 4 of those pieces, which is all 4 pieces, when the active skill deals a critical hit, has a 60% chance to grant the leader beast crit damage 13% for 3 seconds. This event can only be triggered on the wearer 1 time in 1 second. So you start to become very powerful when you start to get these 4-piece sets on your beast. Same thing with the with the legendary chips, I would recommend building out the beast that is best for you. So if you're going to be in the field, if you're going to be fighting in the field, I recommend building out a non-yellow beast. So like either a green beast or a I don't know what this, like Spore Deer, for example, or something like that. Like Gaia Deer, for example, would be a green. I don't know what type it is. Doesn't really say. But whatever type this is, I'll just call it green. You could build out a blue one as well. Or you could build out your fire type. I would highly recommend, if you're going to be fighting on the field, to consider building out a fire type like the Volcano Rhino. Is really good to build because you can actually get this guy in this area right here for not so expensive of a cost. It's actually a very low spend, decent hitting beast for a legendary status beast. You can get this guy here. You can get 5 fragments of this guy every single week if you have the Radar Station Pass, which is only $5.99 a month or $5 a month. You can get that so you can get 20 fragments of those guys for free every single month, which is really a lot compared to most of the beasts in the game that you're going to be building out. That's why I've already got him at +2. Okay, so I would main that beast if I wasn't building toward the future for a rally beast main. Okay, and the same thing as a garrison. If you're going to be a garrison main, there's no reason to build out the Volcano Rhino or the giant claw crab, because honestly they're just going to be outclassed by the best versions of these ones anyways, the garrison and the rally beasts, whatever you're choosing to do, right? And I'll show you guys what I mean by that in the battle reports. I saved these battle reports. These are my old battle reports, okay, from like 3 days ago. So 3 days ago, I'm going to show you the beasts. This was all a rally on a level 4 hive mind, okay? So this is just an example of the damage that can be done. This is a rally, okay? So let's show you guys the first beast that I used was this beast right here. I used the Volcano Rhino and the elite version of the Volcano Rhino. Okay, I think that's a very good pairing to do because they have similar statistics that complement each other. And they both do pretty much the exact same thing. Okay, so I have those guys paired together. And look at the damage that they dealt to this level 4 hive mind. 30,000 damage. And those are the chips that I had on the beasts. So not a very good chip. Not a very good beast. Not a very good damage. 30,000 damage. As if we compare to this beast here that I did on the same hive mind, level 4 hive mind, was a little bit of an improvement. The Rally Beast actually performed better, obviously, and not surprisingly, double the damage with the epic version of this Rally Beast, which actually pairs very well with the water type beasts. This as a support beast, it has some very good characteristics that we'll get into later in the video, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. But it's basically for the combo during a rally. This beast here has the ability to combo a lot, and this beast here as a support beast initiates combos and gives you bonuses for combos and stuff like that. So that's why I pair them together, but I'll get into more specific details later on in the video. Look at how much damage they did. With these chips here, not even that good of chips at all. I barely have anything on these guys. 58,000 damage, so we doubled the damage that the first beast, my highest ranking legendary beast, the Inferno Beast, or whatever the hell the thing's called. Now we go to my main beast, which I paired with the Blaze Sabertooth because they just complement each other so well. The Blaze Sabertooth is a great complement to your Rally Beast because it just helps with your crit and your crit damage. So it's really nice to have to pair it with your Undead Bull. Okay, so look at the damage compared to the first and the second rallies. This guy is dealing almost 3 times as much damage as the first rally at 98,000 damage, and as the second rally, it's dealing still like 40,000 more damage than the first rally. Why? Because I have good chips on them, and because it's the Rally Beast. It's meant for a rally. So if you're going to be doing a rally, this is going to be the damaging beast. And even though I had a +7 beast, or a +8 elite beast, which you saw earlier, the legendary version of only a +1 is still doing more than a +8 elite beast. And this is from today. And I'll show you guys what I did. I just got this chipset, this 2-piece array today, and I did another hive mind today. I didn't really level up the beast that much. I didn't really put much potential extracts on the beast. Pretty much the only change that I made to the beast since 3 days ago was I just got this 2-piece Echo Plus chip for the beast today. Okay, so what it does is it gives him the 2-piece set, gives combo damage +7% and 600 attack and 9,000 HP. That's a lot of stats just for having a 2-piece set. So I made sure to get the matching set so that this beast could benefit from those bonuses. Now, as you can see here, this is not leveled up at all. It's already got 100,000 might. Now, if I go over here to this elite version that's not been leveled up once, it's 50,000 might. So it's almost double the might just to have one legendary chip. And as you can see here, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything by showing you these battle reports. I'm just giving you guys the facts. Look at the damage just by putting that 2-piece chipset. Already tripled the damage just in 3 days just by putting that one chip on my beast and nothing else. So I have the same setup, the same chipset. The only thing that's changed is I put the 2-piece array Echo Plus chip brain on there. Now, I'm not going to go out and say which chips you should build out and which ones are bad to build out. I'm going to say that they're all good, okay? But obviously, legendary chips should be your primary focus. And matching chipsets, that's really the only advice that I can give you guys at this time. Until I do more research and I figure out which chipsets are the absolute best and which ones are the absolute worst. Later on down the road, once I've tested some different chipsets out, I'll be able to give you more information. But for now, and I can tell you without a doubt that this chipset here does not really seem that bad. And it's easy to get too, right? Because it's only a 2-piece array. Whereas if we go here, I'll show you guys that some sets you need 4 just to get your bonuses from them. So if we go over here to the development and then we go right here, this here is a really good chipset to get. However, the Wasp Swarm OC chips. So the Wasp Swarm is like a name for a set of chips. Okay, so you can get all 6 Wasp Swarm and then you have a set. So you can get a 2-piece set, a 4-piece set, and a 6-piece set. And each time you get one of these lit up, it's going to be giving you extra bonuses. So I would say that this is probably your strongest chipset as far as ones that you could put on your rally beast, but at the same time, it's going to be your hardest chipset to get, especially if you're not whaling out. Most players are not going to be spending thousands and thousands of dollars on the game. It's going to take you an extremely long time to get the superior legendary versions of these chips. Okay? So if you get even one of these chips, I would highly recommend to just continue looking at which chipsets you have. Like, say for example, I have the top and the bottom. So like the brain and the spine, right? This is the top. This is the very top here. I'll show you guys what I mean. This is the brain. You'll see that little icon right there. That shows you where it goes. It always goes right here. Same thing with this one. This is the spine. At the very bottom here. It always shows this. It always goes in the same spot. You cannot put the spine over here on the right arm or the left arm. You have to put it in the slot that it's made for. So let's say I have a 2-piece set of head or brain and spine, right? Well, and I get a 60-piece legendary selective. I get to select 60 fragments for a legendary piece that I want to make, right? Let's say I go to my bag. I already know that I have the spine and the brain, and I go over here to and I have legendary chip fragment choice box, and I have 60 of them. I can make a brand new chip with 60. I can make any one that I want. So I go over here and I click on this, and I'm looking over here, right? I know I don't have force field. I'm not building out force field. I have echo. I have the spine. Okay. And now I just have to find this. I have the brain, right? So there's no point in me building out, or let's say I get supreme fragments from this event. Let's say I go over here. There's no point in me wanting to pull for the brain and the spine, because I already have those. So it might be better for me to go for a left arm and a right arm, or a left leg and a right arm, for example. That way I'm not... Basically what I'm saying is, you want to kind of spread your resources out to make it most efficient for you on your account, right? So I have right now I have my brain and I have my spine. And then over here, I've got chain plus chip for the right leg. And what's the array on this? So look at that. How special is that? So I need to get now the right arm, the left arm, and the left leg. So I'm going to go for those chips because I'm going to go for the right arm, the left arm, and the left leg because I already have the right leg. So to build that full set out, all I would need now is the right arm. Right now you can get a 2-piece array from that set as well, which gives you plus 80 combo. So that's really nice too. So let's say I get the right arm. Now all I'm left with is the left arm and the left leg. Well, I've noticed that I've already got an elite chip on the left arm, but a blue common chip on the left leg. Well, if I go get a superior chip, even one superior chip, I'm going to want preferably the left leg because I already have a legendary chip for the right arm, a legendary chip for the right leg, and a legendary chip for the left arm, or an elite chip for the left arm. Now my weakest point, you're always... Basically what I'm trying to say to you through this lesson is build out your weakest point up, because if you just stick to one spot, like let's just say I just stuck this echo chip and I just kept leveling up this one echo chip here to maximum rank. Well, yeah, that's going to be nice. It's going to be a really strong chip, but I'm going to be suffering in all these other areas. So just keep that in mind, right? Now what I do for my armaments, I'll show you guys, and I am a very high spend player. Like I'm not a free-to-play player, and even with that being said, my armaments assortment is still not that big. This superior aluminum case, right? This is, you've got that little dot there at the bottom. That's how you can identify it's a superior armament. I've been building this out since day one, and I'm only focusing on one armament because it's a superior version of the armament, okay? But when it comes to just the regular legendary armaments, I'm getting all of the armaments as often as I can because they're a little more, you get them a little more frequently than you get the superior version. So if you were to get the superior version of any chipset, I would recommend that you just get one and build that up. Or get the 2-piece version, for example, and then build up the 2-piece version. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, just stick to building one up to maximum rank before moving on to the next one. Because I'll show you guys kind of what I mean. This might be a little confusing, but this is what I mean by this, okay? So look at the armaments here on my Dong Park-wook. This is just on him for now, just because it is what it is. Okay, I've got my superior aluminum case here. I'm just getting, anytime I can get fragments for a superior anything armament, it's always going to be this aluminum case for the riders, because look at how long it's taken me. I'm 300 days played and I still only have this 2-starred. Okay, but if we go over here to the racing helmet, I'm building that up. I'm building the Uzi subgun up. I'm building the racing shoes up. You know, I've got the IE augmenter, I've got the EM turret. I'm building up all those things, and also because I'm a rider main, I'm building up a shockproof case, which you can see here. I haven't really put too much into it because most of the time I just don't care about that. And then I also have these fluorescent pants. So I'm building out one of each armament, and I recommend doing the same thing with the chipset. Okay, stick to one at a time. You know, Stick to an array of 2 pieces, 4 pieces, or 6 pieces, and just build that out. Don't start building out your rally bull and then go ahead and start getting chips. Specifically, I'm talking about when you have those choice fragments that you can actually choose what you're going to get, or you have events where you can choose things that you're going to get. Only build one out at a time, okay? And don't just buy random things too, like, okay, I'm going to buy the left chain plus chip on the left arm or the right arm, and then I'm going to go over here and buy the echo plus chip for the brain. And then over here on the spine, I'm going to buy the force field chip for the spine, because they have nothing to do with each other, and they're not going to give you bonus stats just because you have a spine of a force field chip and a brain of an echo chip. Those sets have nothing to do with each other, and they will not complement each other in any way, shape, or form unless you make a 2-piece, or at the very least a 2-piece set or a 4-piece set. Now, I haven't seen any 6-piece sets on anything except the superior versions of these chips. However, in my lifetime, I can tell you, I've been playing this game since the Beast came out, and this is as far as I've got on the superior chipsets. I got 14 fragments for the left arm of the Wasp Swarm OC, and I've got 10 fragments for the spine. And I've played in every event, and I've spent money on these events, and I don't really spend money on chips. But what I can tell you right now is these chips are going to be very expensive to whale out for, and they're going to be very hard to build out if you're not spending a lot of money. So don't worry about the superior versions of these, building out the superior versions of these sets. I would focus and if you're just a mid to low spend or even a free to play player, just stick to the legendary versions of these chipsets, because I can find that they are relatively easy to get fragments for. They're not common, like you're not just going to be able to build them out in one night, obviously, but they're a lot more accessible than the superior chipset versions. So let's say I have this beast here, right? And I've got the brain and the spine, and I'm building out this brain and the spine. There's no reason for me to go for the spine or the brain of a superior version when I'm already halfway building the, when I'm weak over here, I could get the right arm of a superior, and then I could get the left leg of a superior, and there, boom, I've got superior on the right arm and the left leg, and boom, I can still build out my spine and my brain, right? And then I still have room for the left leg and the right arm, and just to be able to decide where I want to go from there, right? Or for example, if I already got my undead bull built out, like let's say I've got legendary version on my entire bull, and I'm ready to just rank up those legendary versions on my bull, and I'm happy with the way that that's progressing, and I happen to get a random selective box for a superior version of a chip, well, maybe I could just put that on a different beast, because honestly, this beast is already pretty optimized at that point, right? Yeah, it might improve the beast a little bit, but you need a 2-piece set for it to even do anything. So if I have a 4-piece set and a 2-piece set already on this beast, there's no point in me breaking that up to start building out. Maybe I could build it out on the side and then put it on him later, but that's going to take a year or 2 years just to get that 2 or 4-piece set working. So it's better for me to just put that on this guy here, for example. Look at him. He could use help. I've got tons and tons of work that I can be put into this guy. It's going to benefit so much more from putting a 2-piece superior version chipset on when I already have a 4-piece and a 2-piece already on my main beast. So if that kind of makes sense, right? In a vacuum, yes, that one superior chip or those 2 superior chips is going to be better than a lot of the legendary chips that already exist on my main beast. But the amount of time it's going to take to actually build those chips up to max rank and get the full value out of them is probably never going to happen. I'll be honest with you, it's probably never going to happen. Just to even get one of those chips just to even get 14 fragments of those chips has already cost me like an arm and a leg and a brain and a spine. It's been like 3 months. It's been 3 months and I still don't have one. So just keep that in mind, okay? but it's been about, and I still have in 3 months, I've already been able to acquire a pretty decent 2-piece set on the Echo chipset, and I got another legendary here, and I'm pretty sure I have another legendary elsewhere. I just can't remember quite where it would be. Yeah, but anyways, that's all I'll say about chipsets, okay? Build out the sets and try to stick to legendary chipsets. That's really my final word on that. And yeah, kind of don't spread your resources too thin, but also don't rework areas that you're already really solidly working on. There's no need to get a gain of 0.3% in an area that you're already doing well in, when you could get a progression of like 10 to 20% on a beast with just one chip, right? That you could put on them. Even though it might not be your main beast, it's still going to be used in other areas of the game. Like, for example, I'm not going to take my Undead Bull onto the field battle with me if I see that there's a water beast on the battlefield. No, I'm not going to take my Volcano Rhino onto the battlefield. I'm obviously going to take either my Spore Deer or my Undead Bull onto the battlefield for that battle. But if I see somebody lacking with, say, a grass type Pokemon out on the battlefield, I'm obviously going to take my Volcano Rhino out there. And wouldn't it be nice to have like a 2-piece or a 4-piece chipset on this beast as well, right? So that's all I'm trying to say. And also, another mistake that I made early on was I was just leveling up this beast, ranking up this beast, you know, randomly putting books and experience books into this beast. Stick to leveling up one beast at a time, okay? If there's one thing that I could go back and do all over again, I would have picked a beast that I wanted to level up the most and gone with that beast, okay? And that's okay if it changes over time, that's fine. So I just put all of my battle manuals into one single beast. I see a lot of people out there right now with beasts that are already level 90, level 100, and my main beast is only at level 57. So, and this guy here that I might use him from time to time, but I much prefer to use this guy. This guy's already at +2 in level 70. Well, this guy's probably going to get ranked up before I'm able to rank up this guy, just because of the radar station pass. But a lot of people are getting smart and they're starting to build up the giant claw crabs, and what else do we got here? General crabs and stuff like that built out. So to go around running around with only a Volcano Rhino or only a Blaze Sabertooth, it's starting to lose its value a little bit, you know, and these beasts here, these rally beasts are starting, these garrison beasts, the Crystal Pangolin, or what's this guy called, the Hammer Pangolin, are really starting to show their value in their specific areas that they're supposed to be in. So that's really all I got to say about that. Another thing that I've noticed to do as well is you could take your beasts, try and have one copy of each beast for this event here. Don't need to plus it, just need to have the copy of it for this Biohazard Frenzy event. And as you can see here, you'll be able to put them in these slots. And even sometimes these types of beasts, these common beasts, will show up and give you 2 times points for this event here. And this is a pretty good event to participate in, you know, because in the end you could end up winning fragments for beasts, legendary chip fragment choice boxes, which is really nice, and then reward packs as well. And this event comes up usually once a month. So once a month, maybe twice a month, I'm not sure. But you can have one new legendary chip pretty much every single month just by being in this event. And also a beast, a half a beast, because you need 60 fragments to make a beast. So 25 fragments for a beast every single month, which I'm going to be obviously putting in to my Undead Bull. Is going to be really awesome. So, I mean, you could just go full out, and if you only want to battle in the field, yeah, your radar station Volcano Rhino is probably the way to go to get yourself your first like max level beast. I think it's 13 or 14 rank ups that you got to do to your beast before it's fully maxed out. If you look here, you go to promote, and then you'll see here. So it's 13. You got to actually put 13 into it before it's fully maxed out. So these elite beasts can actually act as pretty good support heroes as well, but as I stated before, their attributes are very outclassed by the legendary beasts. So let's look at this guy's attributes. Again, I'm going to take off all the chips, and I'm going to take, because this is like a very good comparison, right? Because this guy's a +8 and this guy's a +1, and their potential is relatively the same. So I took off all that, all the chips are off. Okay, let's take a look at this +8 Corpse Bull at rank 40, but it's +8. It's attributes, 27k HP. Okay, let's go look at the +1 Undead Bull, 49k HP, and almost double the attack and double the defense as a +8 epic version. So it's the same thing with the support beast. So as a support beast, I think they inherit 50% of the value of the leaders, or the leader inherits 50% of the value of the support beast stats. So for example, yes, I have a +8 Badlands Boar here, which in theory would seem better to pair up as a support beast with anybody who he would go good with. So fire tends to go good with fire. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. They both have the same abilities and are trying to do the same jobs for the most part, but it's a little more complicated when you get into the chats with these quote-unquote colorless beasts or yellow beasts, whatever you want to call them. They actually have different pairings that complement very well. But again, your leader beast, which is your main beast that you're going to be using, is going to inherit some of the support beast stats. So the higher the support beast stats, the better, is basically what I'm trying to tell you. So let's take a look here at this +1 Blaze Sabertooth, 21,000 HP. Now if we look at this +8 common blue Badlands Boar, 12,000 HP, 700 attack, 678 defense. This has double the attack, almost double the defense, and almost double the HP. Even though it's only a +1 legendary, it's still going to be a better support beast than this beast here. Okay, so let's say I pair this beast, which I have, with this guy right here. The Blaze Sabertooth I have, its inheritance is 40%. Develop combat support at the development center to increase the inheritance ratio of the Biochemical Beast. So if you want to increase the inheritance ratio, which is how much stats your main beast inherits from the support beast, you want to go down here to this beast area and then go to the base, go to your develop section, and then go here, all the way over here, to combat support 4, and you want to start leveling that up. I'm waiting for Top Commander to do it because I want to do all this during Top Commander. In fact, yeah, it might not be a bad idea to just get this done, but honestly, I think this is a great area to save up your research speedups for Top Commander, and also save up your whatever these things are called. Sorry, you can't see it because I don't have this screen. Whatever these things are called, your research and development blueprints or whatever. You save all those up and then save up a bunch of speed ups, and it just helps you get more speed ups into your Top Commander event. But yeah, this here is a great thing to have to level this up. Will give you an additional 10% support beast inheritance. Basically just meaning it's going to make your main beast 10% stronger. That's really all that means, and that's a very big bonus. Okay, so now that I've went over chipsets with you guys. I've went over a general like chat about beasts. I didn't think, holy crap, I'm almost at an hour. I didn't think we'd get this far into the video, and I still have 2 things to talk to you guys about. I want to talk to you guys about the strengths and weaknesses specifically of each beast and go through their abilities and tell you why I think which ones are good and which scenarios they would be good in, and then which beasts you want to pair them with and why. Okay, some of them are going to be obvious. Like obviously the same color, going with the same color is generally going to be a very good idea. However, when it comes to these beasts here, the Rally Beast and the Garrison Beast, they're going to be different. And I'll tell you guys why exactly why I mean that. So let's start with that, because that will pretty much explain everything, really. Once I explain this, you're going to understand everything else. So let's take a look at this guy right here, okay? It tells you what a specific job is right here. Garrison, crit, and counter. So crit is meaning like how many times you're going to hit a critical hit. And counter is you're going to be doing counter damage or reducing counter damage. So that's what this guy is good at. Let's take a look at his statistics as the leader. As the leader, meaning he's the main one, not the support, but the leader. Okay, in your march, he deals damage to the target every 6 seconds. Skill multiplier at 240%. And obviously, the red numbers go up the more you level up the beast. When deployed, skill damage reduction of squad heroes plus 1%. So squad heroes is your, you've got your, your Rivens or your Redutes, like your actual March hero. It's gonna damage reduction of those squad heroes by 1%, which is actually, it is what it is. I wouldn't say it's really all that great, or it's really all that, bad, but it can get better the more you level up the beast. Strange Swipes, his second skill. As the leader, deals damage to the target every 3 seconds and then has a skill multiplier of 84%. And his third skill is when in a rally or garrisoned, increases own attack and defense based on the number of troops attributes up to a maximum of 150% of own attributes. So in fact, this guy could be used for a rally as well. But honestly, bro, like I wouldn't use this guy for a rally unless you're a garrison main. The only time I would build this guy out and actually use this guy for a rally is if you're not a rally main and you're just a garrison main, okay? Because yeah, this guy is going to benefit from being a support beast as well, this elite beast. When garrisoned, leader defense plus 6%. So that's really nice. But yeah, this guy has to be the leader to get this stat boost for your rallies. And honestly, I would just use a rally beast. It's going to be much better to build a rally beast for a rally than to use this garrison beast for a rally. So the only time that this beast would actually be stronger than a rally beast is if this guy was actually your main beast. So just keep that in mind. And then this guy is the leader when garrisoned, crit plus 30. So there you go. Getting bonuses when garrisoned. No other beast is going to do that. The only beast that's going to get bonuses when it's garrisoned are beasts that say garrison. So now we obviously don't have any beasts that we could pair this guy with that are built out. So that are garrison beasts. I don't personally. It would be good to have 2 of these guys. So one guy could be the main and one guy could be the support beast. But there's many other beasts that you could pair this guy with to get good stats out of as well as the support beast. As you can see here, crit and counter are 2 really good ones. So you could go with a grass type beast, which is going to give you better counter stats. Or you could go with a crit type beast to give you better crit and damage. So what I'm doing with this beast here is I'm pairing him with the Ash Sabertooth, which is a fire beast, which specializes in crit and crit damage. So it's going to complement this guy's ability to deal damage to the target. It's going to make him deal extra damage because he's going to be critting more. Okay, so he's going to be inheriting all these stats: squad damage reduction, defense, attack. And he's also going to be inheriting these support skills as well. You have to read through the support skills in order to know which beasts are good to pair up. And it's, like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm only going to go through a couple of them with you guys and then let you guys figure it out from there, what you want to do for your own account. But this is the one that I've decided is the best one to pair with my garrison support beast for my account, is this guy here. So as the support beast, his first skill is, when the active skill deals a critical hit, deals follow-up damage. So this guy deals follow-up damage to this guy's active skill. So this skill here, whenever this skill deals damage, this skill is going to deal more damage, which is really nice. And then this skill here, his second skill, Energy Surge. When using the leader skill, leader crit plus 60 for 3 seconds. So that's really nice. You get extra crits when the leader uses their leader skill. And then when taking damage from a target with a shield, leader crit plus 30 for 3 seconds. So that's going to be really nice as well. And yeah, that's just, that's pretty, like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. Now, you could pair him with Gale Draco, or I'm just giving you examples. I don't really care about rankings right now, but this is your counter guy, okay? So you see here the words counter and counter, okay? I don't really need to explain that to you. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So when triggering counterattack, deals follow-up damage to the target. When using the leader skill, leader counters plus 60 for 3 seconds. So yeah, this beast is going to be good to pair him with. Basically, if you're going against a water type beast, I would put this guy as a support. If you're going to be garrisoning against a rally that is constantly sending you water type beasts, it's going to be good to put this guy as your support beast. That's really all I got for that. And then this guy here, if they're sending grass type beasts like the Gale Draco or the whatever the other one is called, I can't remember exactly what it's called right now. The Hurricane Draco, a lot of people like to use this guy. If they're sending this beast as a rally to hit your towers and your garrisoning, I would highly recommend pairing your garrison beast with a fire type beast to try and take that beast out. So basically how beasts work is the beasts will deal damage to each other initially, but once the beast dies, once whoever's beast dies, the beast that's left over is going to start doing damage to your opponent's march. So if your beast is relatively strong, your beast can do a lot of damage to your opponent's march if they're set up correctly. And yeah, for my giant claw crab, which is combo and corrode, so its skill is deals damage to the target every 6 seconds, also has a 50% chance to inflict corrosion on the target, dealing corrosion damage to the target over 3 seconds. Skill multiplier 144%. When deployed, basic attack damage of squad heroes plus 3%. So this would be really good to have in a rally. This would be really good to have with a hero like Chasey, who has basic attack damage, or a hero like Elena, who has high basic attack damage, or a Dude, someone like that, who has a very high basic attack damage. Skill number 2, deals damage to the target every 3, and the reason I say in a rally is because when you're getting corrosion damage over time, this is going to be really helpful in a rally. And Clamping Claws, the A2, deals damage to the target every 3 seconds, skill multiplier 60%, has a 50% chance to inflict corrosion on the target, so it sounds like pretty much the same thing as the first skill. So you're going to be doing pretty much the same thing on the second skill. And then the third skill, passive skill, when triggering a combo, corrosion damage plus 12% the next time the leader skill is used. So you're going to want to be triggering a lot of combos with this beast. And then the fourth skill is a passive skill when the leader skill deals damage to a fire type biochemical beast, gains corrosion damage plus 4.5% for 3 seconds. So obviously I'm going to pair this with a water beast to get the most effect out of this, corrode and combo. Now you could pair it with, this beast actually would go really well with somebody like Corpse Bull. Yeah, and here I say this is why I say that it's good to pair these two, okay? Because this guy does a lot of combo damage. When in a rally, combo plus 50. So if you go over here and pair him up with the General Crab, I need to level the crab up more to take advantage of that third skill there. But when triggering a combo, inflicts corrosion on the target. So whenever I trigger a combo, then I get to also inflict corrosion on the target. which is going to deal them even more damage. And then when using the leader skill, leader combo plus 70 for 3 seconds. So I'm going to get plus 70 combo for 3 seconds, and I'm going to get plus 50 combo. So I'm going to get massive combo damage with this pairing here. Did I make that clear to you guys? Kind of how I'm doing this here is pretty simple, right? It's not as complicated as you really think it is. It's really not all that complicated at all. And the nice thing here about these chips is you can just hit quick equip and it'll put the best chips on, the most powerful chips on. I don't know if it'll like stick to your chip set bonuses, but that would be nice if it did. But I know for sure at the beginning it's going to be nice and easy when you don't have a whole lot of chips in your inventory to just do the quick equip. And your support beast will benefit just as much as your leader beast by putting chips on them. Obviously put your strongest chips on your leader and your second strongest chips on your support beast, but your main leader beast and your support beast for your main beast leader, they should both be as strong as you can possibly get them. Okay? That's all I got to say about that. Focus on your main beast. When I say your main beast, that's your beast that you're going to want to put the best stats into, the most books into. You're going to want to max out first. That's your main beast. And then the support beast for that beast should also be as strong as you can possibly get them, with as much chips as you can possibly get on them. Okay? So that's really all I got for you guys today. The moral of the story is legendary over common, but superior. Legendary is pretty much unattainable at this point unless you're a whale, so don't worry about it. Don't focus so much on elite beasts. Don't put any books into elite beasts, honestly. Just put all of your efforts into focusing on building out legendary beasts, legendary chips, and don't worry so much about the elite stuff at this point, because as you can see here, it's like one fraction as good as the actual. It's like, I don't even know, dude. I wouldn't say it's twice as powerful. It's more like legendary is almost seemingly like 10 times more powerful than the elite beast at this point. So yeah, that's why I say don't worry about elite beasts, but don't ignore them either. They can be very good at the beginning when you're just building your stuff out for the first time and getting your feet on the ground as far as the beast world goes. But yeah, once you start getting a few legendary beasts out, I'm telling you right now, man, that all of these elite beasts are just going to go to the wayside and you're never even going to use them. So yeah, be careful. The only beast that I'm going to be investing in as elite beast right now is the Crystal Pangolin, because it's a garrison beast and I don't focus or plan on focusing on garrison. But that's why I think that building out an elite version of this will actually be very nice for my account, because at least I'll be able to, if I ever do a garrison, which I probably never will, but if I ever do end up doing a garrison, then at least I will have a beast that's maxed out, that's elite, that's usable at that point, right? But honestly, bro, if you're not a garrison leader in your alliance, there's no reason for you to even be worried about building out a garrison beast ever. So don't worry about that. Okay? So that's really all I got for you guys today. It's quite an interesting world here, world of beasts now in the game of Doomsday Last Survivors. But once you figure it all out and you understand what they're all about, it becomes much easier to know what to look for and what to build for. And yeah, so as like these chips here, crit 100, they have all kinds of different stats on them. Physical reduction 4.5%, so when they're using physical beasts against this beast, I'm going to get a damage reduction of 4.5%. Beast crit damage, this is actually a really nice common chip here, the yellow chip for the right arm, 6.5% beast crit damage, which is really nice. But yeah, I really noticed that this combo damage plus 7%, I don't know, man, it just really, and this beast attack here of plus 600 jacked up my damage literally 3 times as much as it was just with those 2 little stat changes there alone. That's crazy, eh? So that's really all I got for you guys today. And yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.